Before I had made the decision on my own to actively start seeking Jesus and to actively start reading my Bible and to actively start devoting my life to Christ, I had encountered a verse in the Bible that shaped my perspective on what was going on in my life. Because I was going through a hard time, and I don't remember how, but this Bible verse came into my life. Somehow, it was probably like a video or a friend told me, something like that. And it was Romans 8:18. And Romans 8:18 reads, "Yet we suffer now, it is nothing compared to the glory that he will reveal to us later." But look, I know we've heard a bunch about that verse. I want to talk about Romans 8:17. In Romans 8:17, it reads, "And since we are his children, we are his heirs." And there's more, but I'm going to stop right there real quick, because whenever I first read heirs, I thought like it said like heirs or hires or one of those two. But I didn't realize that this H was silent. So I was like, what does this word mean? So I went and I asked my dad what the word heir means. And he put it like this. Like, if you have a family member that you are blood related to, and you're like, it's like your brother, your sister, or your mom or your dad, someone that you're like close to. After they pass, you are their heirs, because you continue on the family tree, you continue on the legacy of that family. So whenever we look at this Bible verse where it says, "And since we are his children, we are his heirs," it's saying, since we have devoted our lives to Christ and we are children of God, who are made wonderfully and beautifully made in the image of him, we will continue on that beautiful and glorious legacy that he has created. The next part of the verse reads, "In fact, together with Christ we are heirs of God's glory. But if we are to share his glory, we must also share his suffering." Look, if you claim yourself to be holy in any type of way, in any type of shape or form, like, I'm not here to shame you and tell you that you're wrong, but I'm here to tell you that there's no way that you won't suffer through things on your walk with God. There's absolutely no way that you're not going to go through things if you claim to be a disciple, if you claim to be a follower of Christ Jesus. Because look, check this out. No one ever said that the legacy of Jesus Christ and following God, being heirs and children of God, was all about goodness and glory and all that stuff. In fact, one of the main points about all of this is that Jesus suffered. So if you were to continue on a legacy that involves suffering, what makes you think that you're not going to suffer in life? Listen, this leads up to Romans 8:18. Remember, this is Romans 8:17. It says, "And yet we suffer now." It's not compared to the glory that comes later. That's what it's saying. It's saying, look, you are my child. Look, you've chosen me in this scenario of your life. You've chosen me in this scenario of your life. You have made the decision to actively follow me. And because you chose that, you are going to go through things. But it's going to be good things. It's going to be bad things. It's not always going to be something that's going to be a breeze, a walk in the park, right? And that's the point of this. That's the point of this. No one ever said that walking with God was supposed to be easy. No one ever said that walking with God was supposed to be something that is always going to be comforting. You have to earn it. You have to understand. Look, if you had a family member, right, in your life, right, in order for you to understand them the most, I mean, yeah, you could go to the people around them. You could go to their best friend. But if you want to understand them the most, you got to go to them. And it's the same way with this scenario, right? If you want to understand what it's like to be a child of God, you have to understand God. You have to go to God. Yeah, the things, social media, all this talk about God is great. But what really matters is what you and your experience with God is like. What really matters is understanding that it's not always going to be easy. But this is what Jesus Christ is showing you. Look, you're going to go through this, but it won't compare to the goodness. It won't compare to the glory. The sufferings don't compare to the glory. And you know why? Because you have the living God living inside of you. As children of God, we are one together, united, and we have an active, living Spirit living and speaking through each and every one of us. And that same Spirit that raised Jesus Christ from the dead lives in you and me both. So what on earth makes you think that the sufferings in life, the things that you're currently going through, won't compare to the glory that God has later for you?